All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. A little deeper discussion. Let's talk about the silent treatment, kings and queens. We got some kings and queens in the house that don't know that they dethrone themselves when they go into silent mode. Well, there is the idea that I need time to think things over, and I need time to think about what's been going on, and I need time to just decompress and sit down and not think and not have to give answers because I got to find my answers. Well, did you forget you were in a relationship? And if you did, the final answer for decompression time is just give me some time. I'm thinking things over. It is not a form of abuse. And that's right, kings and queens. Or should I say, kings and queens who forgot that you had a crown or a throne. Because when you treat someone in an emotional, abusive way, where you go silent on them for weeks and months at a time, you intend to do something. You ain't lost for words. So that means that you dethrone yourself. And what do I mean by dethrone? You actually sabotage or take away everything you have. Because if it's the right queen or king in your life, they're going to do something different than what they've been doing, putting up with the silent treatment. That is a childish position. Now, I want to go into the signs that could dominate in that because we have some egos that are too big. And I know that I think it's Beyonce that sings she or he has a big ego. And I hear it from some of the young ladies that I work with in my shadow class. However, Scorpio, Capricorns, Pisces, Leos, you have big egos. Oh, don't let me forget Taurus or Virgos. You have some big egos, and that means that you need to recognize that you're overexerting your idea about what you should do in a relationship. It's not just about you. This is self-centeredness. You need to come back to the place where you are selfless and you understand that you are in a relationship with someone, even if it's at work, that you're distributing silent treatment, because when the losses come in, you can't blame nobody. And when I say losses, decrease or subtractions, how do they come? Because you have went silent. A lot of people talk about narcissism, and I really believe because we have sun signs and they have not been spiritualized in most cases, that we have narcissistic traits across the board. Those that are not practicing spirituality have narcissistic traits. It does not matter what sun sign you are. The matter of the fact is that you are operating out of ego until you come into submission with your spiritual hierarchy. There's a practice there. But anyway, going on, I named off some signs because I want you to understand that some of this has to do with the shadow. When we look at the psychology of silent treatment, you have a lot of people that they think about their past more than they do their present or future, which means that they may be living in memories without knowing that they're in memories daily with you on the job, so on and so forth. How is that? Because they remember their childhoods. And a lot of people deny the power of the dysfunction of their childhoods to be a part of their life today. But if you were raised with a concept, then where do you think that concept has gone? I mean, really think about it. I do believe that there are people that can overcome concepts, thoughts, and dysfunction. If you've been in addictive families or you have addictive behaviors, you can overcome them. But I really believe, because I come from a background of addictions, that there's going to be something that you get out of your family background that you need to change. Okay. And so I hope you understand. So here is another example per se of psychology of the silent treatment. Children are to be seen and not heard. Children that are definitely trying to please their parents grow up with a concept that they take into their adult years, saying that I actually need to please my mother or my father. I have to do what they say. Some people are actually groomed by following rules. And with that being said, they take it into their adult situations, relationships, into work relationships. And what happens is it becomes a mantra within them. Little do they know, because they're living unconscious at this point, and they're performing a child is to be seen and not heard until the awakening comes. There's something or someone that will come and cause enough heartbreak that will show you that you've been silent long enough. And some of the symptoms to know that you're operating in that child is to be seen and not heard, you're not speaking up enough, is when you become passive aggressive. All you can do is get angry and fly off the handle. You become explosive because you don't know how to form your words to get people to understand, because you didn't practice it when you were younger. Okay, so this is something that we bring up from childhood. And we will blame the people that we, interact with, or that we're in marriage or relationship with, when we're actually discovering something. So your husband or wife, your queen or your king can actually, and in most cases will actually act as a shadow to let you know something that you need to change. All right. So if you give someone the silent treatment, you may look at yourself and say, why am I doing this? Because innately what's going to happen is you're going to lose. That is, if the person with you or even on the job, if they're looking at you, you're going to lose your job. That means you're going to lose your money if you're giving a silent treatment or you being short. The other thing is if you're in a relationship, you're in friendships, and you're giving that kind of emotional abuse, I call it, what's going to happen, eventually you're going to lose it. Because number one, we don't want people to be silent to us. We want communication. The other thing is that when the person that you are using this tactic on wises up, meaning that they grow up and they see what's really happening, they're going to either call and command you to change. And if you don't answer to the call, then they might leave you. So you have some information today, kings and queens that's been dethroned, or if you're still on your throne, about the operations of your relationship. Any relationship that we are in, even with our children, it commands us to be able to verbalize and speak to them respectfully. And if you don't, what happens is that you gain the loss. That's right. You gain the loss of losing a child, a queen, or a king in your life, or even, as we said, a job, because your communication is necessary in life. It is what builds relationships. Communication is most important. Let me just add one more thing. If you're the only one communicating and you don't listen, that's another problem. So I'm going to leave you on that note, and I'm going to say, I pray and I hope for families and work relationships to grow, because that's what makes the world go round. We got so much stuff going on right now. The universe is speaking to us, and a lot of people are looking it over. We definitely got to get more mature and respect each other, because all of these explosions going on, God bless Baltimore, and overseas, the explosions going on in the water, it's a sign of times. The times calling for change. So change it is. And who else but Scorpio, Capricorn, Leo, Pisces, all of the 12 signs would be called to change. If you need a natal sign chart, I'm sorry, I got my words twisting up. I'm practicing to speak more fluent, because I was under that paradigm of a child is to be seen and not heard. So there are days when I'm clear and days when I'm not. However, if you need a natal chart, I do those. You can go to IFW Builders at gmail.com. And also I do personal coaching. I also am doing an executive coaching class. And so get in on that. Just email me to find out about the dynamics. And on YouTube, the information will be in the description box. All right. So you guys have a wonderful, blessed day, and be kings and queens sitting on your throne, communicating what is right and true to one another. Blessings.